I hate to use this word, but I think that Kelsey is jealous. What's good, everybody? Thank you all so much for clicking on the video. I really appreciate it. We are here today to talk about the Real Housewives of Rhode Island, Season 1, Episode 6. And the name of the episode is called Newport, New Problem. Okay? I don't know why. Usually when I hear the word Newport, I think of with cigarettes. You know what I'm saying? My mom had a boyfriend when we was growing up, and he used to smoke Newport cigarettes. So every time I hear Newport, I always think of with cigarettes, okay? But the episode started off with Liz and Alicia and Joellen, and they're all receiving a text message from Kelsey. And Kelsey is letting them know that her and her boyfriend decided to end their relationship, okay? Liz and Kelsey ended up FaceTiming. I am surprised that Kelsey ended up FaceTiming Liz, right? Because what Liz said to Kelsey at her party, I would have been able to forgive her probably, right? But I would have never been able to be vulnerable with her again because you took it there with me and I didn't even really do anything to you. I was really looking out for you. And it kind of showed me that Liz was trying to show out in front of the cameras, right? I really do feel like some of these girls on Rhode Island are showing out for the camera, especially Joellen. I think that Alicia is really being her little kooky self, but I feel like these girls, some of these girls over here, with this being the first season, they really want this show to pop off. And I do feel like the girls are showing out for the camera, specifically Joellen, but we'll get into that later, okay? Kelsey said that she feels like the relationship ran its course. And from the sound of it, it seemed like that Kelsey was letting this man disrespect her and mistreat her and do whatever he wanted to do because he had money and he was paying for her lifestyle. I remember hearing this statement, if the only thing that you're chasing is money, there's no telling whose bed you'll end up in.
Message!
And when financial gain is the only goal, you compromise your integrity and you end up unhappy, right? Unfulfilled and in dangerous situations. Kelsey seemed to be okay with him. Kelsey seemed to be okay with the man being with one other person, but she kind of alluded that it was like more than one person throughout the relationship, right? And so I feel like she let that man take advantage of her because he had money. And I really want to know what her mother thinks about this, right? And and it's no shade, but I really, for instance, and I know I'm about to, go on a tangent a little bit, and y'all may not agree. I don't really. It's like, for instance, it's hard for me when I think of the Real Housewives of Atlanta, and I think of the whores that Kelly keep calling Portia. To me, that doesn't. It would have to be another girl of Portia's ilk to call her a whore to me, and for it to really stick, because Kelly is, funny looking. You get what I'm saying? You would have to be there saying, of course you could call me a whore because don't nobody want to sleep with you.
Who is you?
You get what I'm saying? So, of course, you probably feel a way by the options that I get. You get what I'm saying? And with Kelsey, from me seeing pictures of her mother, I don't know if she have any siblings or not. You get what I'm saying? It's probably, Kelsey seems like a girl who grew up and nobody could really tell her anything. And I really wonder what her mother told her about the relationship that she had with this man. Because I do believe that she let this man take advantage of her because he had money. Right? She said that when she spoke to him, she told him that she thought the relationship ran its course and he didn't even put up a fight for it. He told her that he thought that she was making the right decision for herself. And so now she has to find her place to stay because she got to get out.
Get out! Get the fuck out!
Rosie is talking to Richie. She says that Liz and Alicia is setting up a trip to go to a Newport mansion. And she said that Polo, she got along with everyone. And so she's feeling less anxiety around them. And she's looking forward to the trip, okay? She said that she's really shy and awkward in real life. And because she has a big on-air personality, people expect her to be like that all the time. And that's not who she is. I feel the same way. We'll talk about it later on. But I think that when I meet people, people expect me to be a certain way. And I'm not. When you get me online, this is a version of me, but I think that a lot of times when people meet you, they want you to be on 24/7, and that's just not me. You get what I'm saying? And I think that is why I have an avatar, because it kind of protects me. This is a version of myself. We'll talk about it later, but I'm just not like this 24/7, right? And so I think that if I was online just regular, and eventually I probably will be, but it will take me some time to get comfortable doing that and just being. I don't know. It's just different. It's hard for me to explain. Okay. Then we get Joellen. I really don't think I like Joellen. Not don't think. I know I don't like Joellen.
I don't like this bitch.
Something about her seems phony to me. She seems to be a real try-hard to me. But anyway, she's meeting up with her sister Jen, and they're shopping for her trip to Newport, okay? Joellen feels like the death of her grandfather is bringing up trauma she had growing up with her mother. She feels like that Jen was a favorite child and she wanted her mother's love and she pushed her away. And not to deny anyone's experience, it seems like Jen didn't have their love either, right? But of course, we're getting the story from Joellen, okay? It doesn't seem like, from the conversation, from what I can gauge from the conversation, it's not that her mother didn't show love. It seems like that her mother had a different way of showing love. A lot of times people want you to show up the way that they want you to show up, and that's just not realistic. People have different ways of showing love. But I do think as a parent, you know, there is not one way to parent children. Or, you know, I just feel like you have to be there for your children in different ways, okay? Joellen says that she's distancing herself from her mom because of her. But didn't we see her mom over there babysitting her children? I believe that we saw, the 4th of July party, we saw her mom over there babysitting her children. And I just feel like that if my mom was this horrible person, she definitely wouldn't be babysitting my children. But they say when you don't raise your kids, you raise your grandchildren. So maybe she's letting her mother try to, you know, I don't know. We'll see. I just feel like that Joellen is full of shit. And I feel like that she's trying to grasp at our heartstrings. She's trying to give us something to grasp at our heartstrings, and I'm just not buying it. I'm not buying it, and I don't like that, and it is what it is.
I always keep shit real. Ain't no fucking lie over here.
Kelsey, Liz comes over to her boyfriend's house to help her pack. I was going to call her boyfriend Brian, but I believe Billy is a new boyfriend. I forgot her new boyfriend's name. I mean, her ex-boyfriend's name. But we found out that Liz and Kelsey's ex went to high school together.
Say what?
You are lying.
Kelsey's boyfriend ended up grabbing her from her parents' house when she was 20 years old. And Kelsey is like emotional. She said that she's happy and she's sad. I think that she's sad because it's a lot to leave, right? We see the house. She was getting an allowance. The lifestyle, people waiting on you hand and foot. That can be a lot to leave, right? But that's not your life, Kelsey. That's his life. It's like Stoney said and set it off. She was just borrowing a piece of his life. That's not her life, okay? I also think that she's sad because she realized she stayed too long and she is unfulfilled, right? Now she's behind and she has to play catch up and she has to join the workforce at 30 with basically no experience, right? She doesn't even know how to handle her business really, and that's part of the problem that she's having with Rosie. Because if you would have known how to handle your business, you would have been able to ask Rosie to put a picture up there of you or have a picture. You know, she just doesn't seem like a person that knows how to handle the business. Kelsey and Liz keep talking about Billy and, you know, what Billy wants in life as if he's he's a for sure option for her, right? There's no guarantee that Billy will marry Kelsey.
You stupid girl.
Yes, they have the same goals, but that doesn't mean anything, right? He will always be compared to this other man that she was with for 10 years, and she is going to resent him for having her to work because she doesn't want to work, right? She wants to just stay at home. And Billy may resent her because he may feel like that she really doesn't want him, right? Or does she just want him because her ex didn't plan on marrying her and he's just plan B? And nobody wants to be plan B. Nobody wants to be plan B, okay? So on the day of the trip to Rhode Island, we found out, to Newport, Rhode Island, we found out that it is only 30 minutes away from where Alicia lives. 30 minutes away? I'm not going shopping for nowhere. I'm going to anywhere 30 minutes away. You know what I'm saying? But all of the ladies showed up except for Rulla. The ladies are riding in vintage Rolls Royces to Newport, and they will be staying at the Sea View Terrace, okay? Now, the mansion is 100 years old. It's 43,000 square feet. There are 18 bathrooms and 29 bedrooms. Now, all of the bedrooms are nice. They all get to choose their own bedroom. I mean, it's 29 of them, right? But it doesn't look like that there are single bedrooms. The bedrooms look like they have suites, right? So Joellen and Kelsey share a suite, and Ashley and Rosie share a suite. Alicia is throwing a doll lunch tea party, and she wants all of the women to dress up like dolls. I wasn't sure if all of the women ended up with dolls or not, but there were high chairs for the dolls. It seemed like some of the women had dolls and some of them didn't. That's what it seemed like to me from what I saw, okay? Now, the conversation turned they started talking about Rulla and her not being there. And Alicia did try to FaceTime her earlier on the way to Newport, but she didn't answer. Alicia feels like that she's probably just doesn't want to be or I mean, she doesn't want to hear about Brian anymore, right? Joellen feels like that Rulla is blaming her when she's not doing anything but trying to be there for her and have her back. And I think that that is bullshit.
Bullshit. Bullshit. Bullshit. Fucking bullshit.
If Joellen was trying to be there for her and have her back, her conversations with Rulla would be one-on-one. She wouldn't be running around to everyone that would listen and telling them that Brian is cheating, and she would understand that her running around telling everybody that would listen can leave Rulla feeling humiliated and shamed, right? Liz says that she thinks that Rulla questions her motives, and she said, what's the motives? I don't want her husband. No, you don't want her husband, but you want to embarrass Rulla. I do believe that you want to embarrass Rulla. Okay, Joellen still wants to talk about it because she feels like Rulla thinks that it's from over a year ago. And the ladies tell Joellen that nobody needs to remind Rulla that her husband is a scumbag. It's done. And I couldn't agree more. You know what I'm saying? Move around. Stay out of people's marriages, because let's just, for the heck of it, say that Rulla left her husband and she needed a place to crash until she could find another place to stay. I doubt that Joellen would welcome her and her children to her house with open arms. Right? And so if you're not going to welcome her with open arms and she planned on leaving that man, I don't think that, you need to just be talking about it every second or be trying to, for sure. You know what I'm saying? You're not really invested in it like that. You're not really invested in it like that. Right? And I really don't think that, for me, from what I'm, to me, I don't think that this storyline is playing out in Joellen's favor like the way that she thinks that she is. Because I think that, if Rulla doesn't want to leave, that's her business. But you don't. Every time you see her, it's like you trying to show Brian up. And I get that the fan base wants to see something. But girl, at the point to me where she stayed the first time, let it go. But part of this is Rulla's fault. She should have just said, "Girl, just leave me and my husband alone. Just leave me and my husband alone." Because the truth is, Rulla doesn't want to leave. Rulla doesn't want to leave. Okay. Liz is throwing a black tie dinner, and she has masks delivered to all of the women. And so the idea of the dinner with the mask is for everyone at dinner to take the mask off and reveal something about themselves, okay? Joellen shares that her mom sent her away when she was young. She doesn't feel like her behavior warranted her being sent away. And she tries to throw in there that she doesn't like being betrayed, and when someone calls her out on something, she feels the need to prove them wrong because she didn't do that as a kid. And as she's saying this in relation to Rulla and Brian.
So let it go.
Liz said that she has Liz said that she has abandonment issues, and she said that she lost her mom when she was 15 years old. I did not know that. I feel so horrible for her. But my immediate thought when she said that was, how does she feel about her mother now? I saw an interview with Freddie Prinze Jr., and he was talking about his dad. And so his dad, Freddie Prinze, died when he was 22 years old. But now Freddie Prinze Jr. is 50. And so in an interview, he said that his dad was a kid. And I never thought about it like that. At 50, he's now older than his dad ever got to be. So his dad never had the chance to grow into a full man. So he doesn't quite see him as that traditional paternal figure, right? He's his father, technically, but his life was cut short before he can fully become a man. And so he sees his dad as this 22-year-old boy because he was able to outlive him. So I'm wondering, how does Liz see her mother now in the decisions that she made? Ashley is the trip. Ashley started crying because she doesn't have anything to reveal or any sob stories, right? I feel like that Ashley could have talked about them kids over there stressing her out. But then again, did she say that? I don't think that I remember her saying that. Or is it just that I saw those kids over there stressing her out, or they were stressing me out? Baby, I need a break from them kids, okay? Rosie said that she has anxiety and she's shy in real life, and once she gets comfortable, she opens up. And that is literally me, right? She said she had to do whatever her mom wanted her to do growing up, and she did it to make everyone happy, and that is me. The biggest gripe I have with my parents is that they thought that everything was about them. My childhood and teenage years, I never did what I wanted to do. I did what my parents wanted me to do because they didn't want me to, or didn't want to accept the fact that I was gay. And so I felt like they was trying to make me live this life like an all-American boy, because I had a brother who was 11 months younger than me, and he was like the all-American boy, right? So if it was like, if my brother wanted to go and play football, it was like, you're not gonna go shop for football practice. You know what I'm saying? They almost kind of guilt tripped me into doing certain things. You know, it was with basketball. You don't want to go play basketball. The only thing that I probably would have done is track and play back. I would have never played football. But the only thing that I probably would have did was track and basketball. And, you know, I just felt like that they kind of guilt tripped me into doing a lot of things, right? But what I found out in my later years is that when you're so busy doing things that make other people happy and you stop it, you don't realize what you actually like because you was never allowed, or you were never allowed to try to do the things that you wanted to do before, and you kind of end up being behind. And so that is my story. I feel like that I was kind of behind by trying to please my parents.
Are you okay?
Kelsey said that she is sensitive when it comes to her relationship, and I believe that she's sensitive because she compromised her morals. Okay, Kelsey still has a relationship with her ex. She said that he still pays for her health and car insurance, and he's also going to pay for her a new place to stay, so that, or until she gets on her feet.
Girl, shut up. You are making things worse.
And yes, he said that he would do that, but for how long? And how long will it be before she's able to pay for herself being a junior salary? Because it seems like that she's just being paid now by people posting her, right? So when will she be able to afford to live on her own? And what will Bill say about her taking money from her ex? Because I'm sure he won't be fond of that, right? And when Kelsey said this, I don't know how I feel about Kelsey. And I'm trying to wrap my mind around, is she really clueless, or does she think that this is a flex, right? And I'm not saying don't take the money, but there's no way I would have said this on TV, right? Because it's not anybody's business. She said that she's entitled to it. She's not entitled to it. I think that it's a nice gesture coming from her ex, but she's not entitled to it. She said that she was actually married, but see, that's the problem, Mama. You was not married. You was not married. So you need to stop looking at it like you were married, but it's a nice gesture coming from a man. I don't think that it's wrong for him to do things for her. I think that it's real honorable for him to do things for her, but it's just not anybody else's business. And will he continue to do things for you while you're in a relationship with Billy? Yeah, it's cute now, but that money, usually when people are giving you money, there is stipulations tied to that money. And he probably is not going to want to see you around there with Billy. You know what I'm saying? He's going to feel like, well, what the fuck is Billy paying for? So I feel like you got to be realistic. And who is the baby? Okay. Alicia. She said that her dad left her homeless. Liz says that she was never homeless. She had a big family and no one would allow her to be homeless.
Do you really know? Do you really know?
No, you know.
Thank you.
I think that Liz needs to mind her motherfucking business, because I feel like that she's denying Alicia's experience, right? I think that most people think that homeless is out on the street, and it's not. It can also be living with people and having to walk on eggshells, right? Not really being allowed to be. For all we know, you know, they had to move in with their grandparents, but it doesn't mean that they was welcomed with open arms and they wasn't being treated like dirt, right? You never really know what goes on behind closed doors. So after everybody said what they wanted to say, Kelsey tells Rosie that this was the first genuine thing that came out of her mouth. And she's saying that, you know, in a nice way and not a mean way. And she said that for a second, she actually felt like that she was telling the truth. And so Rosie was like, well, what did I not tell the truth about? And so Joellen jumps in and says, you know, she's giving you a compliment and you jump right to the defense. We say, thank you. Baby, that was shade.
I don't miss shade.
And I don't miss shade. Okay? And so Ashley said, you know, she's insinuating that she's never been honest. And so Rosie says, you know, I do appreciate it. I'm glad that you feel that way. So now Joellen and Liz are saying that Rosie was backhanded.
So clearly y'all on this end on the same page. So it's something wrong.
And you can really tell who knows each other in this group and who was just thrown in it by the alliances, because there's no way that anybody at that table can think that Kelsey was genuine, right? And so Ashley calls bullshit, and she says that y'all are not giving Rosie grace. There was definitely some sass in the air, and Joellen says that she thinks that the sass actually came from Rosie.
Wait a minute now.
And salute to Ashley for standing up for Rosie, because Rosie had told her before, I wish that you would have stood up for me, and I'm glad that she's standing up now. I feel like the problem is that these ladies uphold Kelsey in her wrongdoing, and that's why she's in the situation that she's in now.
Like what?
That's the reason why.
Kelsey definitely gave a backhanded compliment, and Rosie apologized.
No!
There's no way I would have apologized to her. Okay? So Rosie and Ashley go back to their room, and they're discussing what happened at the table. And so Rosie says she doesn't know what she did that was so offensive. You know what I'm saying? What Kelsey said wasn't a nice thing to say. And so Kelsey and Joellen is standing by the door listening. And while they're talking, Kelsey walks in. And so Ashley tells Kelsey that she felt like that she gave her a backhanded compliment. And when she called it out, everybody snapped on her. And so Kelsey said that she feels like that Rosie isn't being honest about her house and her leaving her job. She said that she feels like she makes shit up and she exaggerates. And so they asked, for example, she said that, her and Rich building an 8,000 square foot house.
Who the fuck cares?
Right? But my thing is, why do you care? And better yet, how do you know what she's building? Are you fucking the contractor too? And so Rosie says that her house is 1,500 square feet and they're adding 5,000 to it. And Kelsey said it's 1,000. But again, why do you care? Why do you care? And like Ashley said in the confessional, where's your proof, bitch? And so Kelsey said she doesn't care, girl, but you do. And Kelsey said this last episode about Rosie, but I actually see it the other way around, and I told y'all last week. It seems like that Kelsey is jealous and envious of Rosie. It seems like that she seems jealous. And I'll tell you why in a minute, but Rosie ate Kelsey up in the confessional. She said that she's talking about her house. She doesn't have one. She's talking about her husband. She doesn't have one. And she's talking about her career. You had one for about a year. So shut the fuck up. And Rosie is spot on, but I wish that you and Ashley, maybe after a couple of seasons, y'all will get there. Y'all give me Disney Channel. She said that she listened to the Jonas Brothers and stuff like that or whatever. Y'all give me those type of girls. But, you should have said it to her face. The stuff that y'all are saying in the confessionals, y'all should have said it to their face. Say it to their face. They're not going to do nothing. I truly think that Rosie and Kelsey just don't respect each other. I think that these are two totally different girls, and they got it two totally different ways. I think that Rosie may be a goody two-shoes, you know what I'm saying, a Disney Channel girl who probably looks down on Kelsey in the way that she chose to go about her life, specifically being with that man, being with the sugar daddy for 10 years and having him, you know what I'm saying, compromising her morals for money, right? And I think that Kelsey probably feels the judgment coming from Rosie, and she maybe kind of resents the fact that she didn't do it the way that Rosie did it, right? And I just think that these girls don't respect each other. And I also think that Kelsey feels like that she probably could whoop Rosie's ass. Like she sees her as weak. Like how dare her look down her nose at me. And that's just how I feel. That's just how I feel, okay? Rosie ended up dismissing her out the room, told the girl she can go, and she ended up leaving the room. And that was the episode. But y'all let me know what y'all think. To me, and I just, the thing is, me becoming a reviewer, it is so interesting to see the hoops and gymnastics that people jump through to uphold wrongdoing. There is no way anybody will be able to convince me that Kelsey was not giving a backhanded compliment. There's no way. But I know y'all gonna try to do it, okay? But y'all let me know in the comments, what do y'all think? Do y'all think that Kelsey was giving a backhanded compliment? Or do y'all think that Rosie was just being sensitive and she the one who gave the backhanded compliment? I think this is some bullshit. I don't like when the girls are not able to be honest. And again, I feel like Kelsey's in the situation that she's in now because a lot of people didn't call her out on her wrongdoing. Okay? But y'all, that was the episode. Thank you all for clicking on the video. Please hype me up, like the video, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I will see y'all later. Adios.